Everyone, welcome to this video. I'm going to talk about the infamous, the most talked, the most talked aspect of Indian news channels, Sushant Singh Rajput's suicide, and why I believe Riya Chakrabarti is innocent and she's been made the scapegoat. I do not know the intentions of the media or any political parties which has been involved. I could only assume that it might be a diversionary tactic or it's just going with the populist agenda. Many believe that Sushant Singh Rajput is a victim of nepotism, is a victim of misrepresentation, false fraudhood, or he's been cheated on in his relationship, love, etc. But here are some of the key points that I believe that Sushant took his life through suicide, which is very sad, which is extremely sad. And why I believe Riya Chakrabarti is innocent. The first thing for me is his diagnosis of depression. He has met a lot of psychiatrists. He has been treated by psychiatrists. From 2013 onwards, there's been episodes of he being in mental health. So there's no question that he was under depression. And suicide is one of the biggest risk factors of depression. So I believe that in terms of science and other things, the narrative fits very well there. He has taken his life, and it could be various reasons. I do not want to attribute motive to his suicide, but fundamentally it's a suicide because of his depression. So that clears the first point that there's no way he could have been murdered, or Riya Chakrabarti planned his murder in some way or anything. This doesn't hold water because a lot of doctors has treated Sushant. A lot of people has involved. To think that Riya had a complete control over the entire health system, his entire life of Sushant, I think it's a whole lot absurd. Next important thing is the money angle. A lot of people said she was a gold digger, she lived off Sushant, etc. I do not know how their life was, or whether she was a gold digger or whether she lived off Sushant. But what I know is the first accusation that around 15 crores was swindled out of Sushant to her bank account has been completely false. Now the enforcement director has gone into her accounts. A lot of agencies have gone into accounts and there is no such amount. So again, that has been proven. The other important aspect is the drug angle. Now, I believe after seeing yesterday's interview that with Rajiv Sardesai, that Riya Chakrabarti was a little bit evasive on this aspect. But then I do believe that it's just normal in life. If you look at any college, any teenagers, anyone who is in Mumbai or things, a lot of youngsters do drugs. They smoke marijuana, they do MDMA, whatever. But that alone does not prove any of ill motive on the aspect of Riya Chakrabarti to kill Sushant or to live off him. And what concerns me most is the misogyny that is being spit out, or the misogyny that is being spread by a lot of things. It's always the woman who has been blamed for a man's death or an actor's death. That could be various reasons. As I said, one of the primary reasons which I believe is his depression and his treatment. And it has nothing to do with the choices that Ria made or the couple made together. And the other thing is that going through the phone records, and if anyone goes to any phone records, we can build story on our own through even single chats or any chats. So what I believe is this actor had a case of depression, and as a result of which he has committed suicide. The other aspect is all other human right aspect that which I have to emphasize is because me being a human rights student, what I see is a complete disrespect to the fundamental human right principles. The first human right principle is presumption of innocence. Any person who is accused of crime is presumed innocent until proven guilty. So that gives the benefit of the doubt to Ria. The next is the Sushant's investigation by the Mumbai police, then by the CBI or by the autopsy reports. Everything shows that everything clearly points to suicide, not to any murder angle or anything. So I believe that Ria is innocent. Then why is such a hue and cry in media? I think number one is the way internet is being handled, the way internet is being run. Internet runs on clickbaits, gossips and everything. We all know how Diana was lost to such paparazzi chasing, etc. The same thing is being continued in Sushant's case. Ria's family and his extended family members, her friends are being constantly followed by overzealous media. So this is clearly an attempt to gain viewers, to gain television viewership, advertisements, and this is clearly making money out of death. Everyone should see above these unnecessary media trails. I want to remember one more thing. There was a famous Sunanta Pushkar case in which the wife of Congress MP Shashi Tharoor, who committed suicide, was again and again put on certain particular televisions, claiming that it was not a suicide, it was a murder, etc. There was a court case, everything followed, and ultimately it was proven that it was an act of suicide and Shashi Tharoor had no role to play in it. And even there, the victim, Sunanta, had a case of a depression and she was taking medications, etc. If you look at all the patterns, the one common denominator here is depression. Now, why I am making this video is I'm not taking any sides. I'm not saying that I'm a big supporter of Ria Chakrabarti, so Ria Chakrabarti should be there must be justice for her and she should not be done, all those things. But what I'm emphasizing is we should not stop our discussion on this disease called depression and its treatment protocols. Why is many people under the treatment of depression are taking their life? Are we following a good treatment protocol? Because remember, most of the mental health is not cut and right, straight jacket kind of a diagnosis. One psychiatrist might call you depressed, the other might call you not depressed, one might give you another diagnosis, because we do not have blood tests, we do not have any kind of diagnostic techniques through which we can assume or we can conclusively say that the particular patient is suffering from a particular mental illness. It's all about how the patient responds to certain questionnaire and observing the patient. So we must look into the treatment protocol first into depression. The government has to take a look into it, because most of the developed nations are saying that an expert psychiatric treatment of depression should not be the standalone solution for depression. Depression must follow a holistic treatment pattern like lifestyle change, behavioral therapy, and in that case the depression is not responding, then you can go through the pharmaceutical methods or the drug method. That is very important, and we should keep talking about the disease and its biggest side effect, death by suicide. We should stop targeting humans or people who are no way related to such deaths, because a wrong target will always lead to a wrong solution. Thank you.